Hello, ChavezzSlovakia. Dude, I've had a freaking wonderful day. Shouts out to my grandparents. Hope you guys are feeling well. And shouts out to my dad. He's out getting an award for water conservation and energy. So shouts out to him. My dad doing big things, man, and he deserves it. Finally, the recognition he deserves. And let me tell you what I feel like we should get. The list is up on my Patreon. So if you guys don't mind checking that out. No, seriously, dude, shouts out to my dad. He's worked really hard for a long time. And seeing him get recognized is huge for the family. So good on him. So today we're here to watch Judge Joe Brown. Looks like welfare fraud to me. Don't commit fraud, because Judge Joe Brown don't play that shit. And let's get into it. This was really fun for me to do. Shouts out to the homies on the Patreon. Y'all have been amazing. And shouts out to people on the channel. You guys have been great. And let's get into it, dude. You guys are fucking fantastic.
Where do you get the money?
This struggling mom's story
I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth.
just isn't adding up.
It looks like welfare fraud to me.
That's what he said it looked like. Let's figure it out, bro. These are so much fun to do, bro.
Track seriously. Hair braider Loran Holmes is suing her former daycare provider for breach of contract. Defendant Sonia Harris is countersuing for loss of income.
Okay.
Now it's Joe time.
Wait, I can sue for loss of income? You too? What?
The Harrises you allege that they should refund payments you made to them along with some other damages because they terminated your daycare services without notice, which caused you unnecessary expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Harris, you deny any liability to the plaintiff, and you allege that due to the misrepresentations, you had a severe loss of business opportunity. You're seeking $5,000 on your cross complaint.
Wow.
All right, now, Ms. Holmes, state your case.
Jesus. Is this in Judge Joe Brown's jurisdiction with $5,000? How much more does it have to be not small claims?
Hello, Judge Joe Brown. Right? This has come along.
You do hair braiding. You have a 12-year-old son, a 3-year-old daughter.
Yes, sir.
All right, you enrolled those 2 children in her home-based child care facility. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
In September year last, you alleged that without warrant, you were informed that the defendant had dropped you as a client.
Oh, okay. I got what you're saying now.
Now, you say you had to immediately take time off from your hair braiding business to find a new child care provider.
Which is what happened.
Question. Did either of the defendants inform you of this?
No, sir.
Well, how did you learn of this termination of your relationship?
Since I'm low income, I have child action services that is paid by the state, and I was informed by my worker when I called and talked to her because I hadn't been answering or getting calls answered by Sonia Harris.
How long has she not answered your call?
At least 3 days.
And you had to take off from work.
Okay.
Where were your children?
With my mother.
Well, why would they be with
your
mother?
Yeah.
Such that when she did not return your calls for 3 days, you then learned from a representative of the agency.
That's a long time. Dude, 3 days is a long-ass time to not know about the whereabouts of your kids, bro. That's a long-ass time, for real.
Your relationship with her.
I have shown up at the door and there was no answer, sir.
That's a long time.
Doesn't that suggest that you weren't regularly taking the children by them?
That's what it sounds like.
Actually, sir, I have a variable schedule.
Look at her. The defendant said, "You're goddamn right. Huh? Tell the truth. Tell the goddamn truth. Tell the truth." Bro, how do you not know for 3 days where your kids have been? That don't make no sense.
I can I can work 0 to 7 days a week.
Sorry.
So you had to cancel numerous hair appointments over what period of time?
Yeah.
I believe it was September 26th through the 27th, 28th, around that time.
So in 2 days, you claim you lost a minimum of $500 income in 2 days, and you work 7 days a week. My goodness.
And you low income?
$1,500 bloody dollars in 1 week minimum. Times 4, that's $6,000 a month.
for loss of income.
$6,000 a month, and you say you're low income, bitch? Holy hell!
Come here anymore. Before you said it might be put in jail if ever. How do you state the basis?
I believe Sonia was aware of.
Doesn't that? Why would they be with your mother? I'd return your calls from a representative of with her.
I have shown up at the door.
You weren't regularly taking the children by there?
Schedule, which meant 7 days a week. I believe it was September.
Income in 2 days, and you work 7 days a week. My goodness, that would be $1,500 bloody dollars in 1 week minimum. Times 4, that's $6,000 a month.
Yeah.
And you get public assistance?
No, Your Honor.
Well, then I can do the math. That's what the inference is. So how do you state the basis for the claim of $500?
Right. Wait, where are your shoes at? Oh, she took her shoes off.
You want to prove that?
We can drop that part, but I would like to start from the beginning.
Because I'm paying taxes and it looks like welfare fraud to me. And by the way, how do they become liable for $1,579.44 for an ambulance bill?
Because the fire department came to my house and they came and picked me up.
What's that got to do with it?
Yeah.
What do they have to do with it?
Yeah, what'd they do?
Because I was under strain and stress from...
Oh,
you about to get
shit.
Caught and busted.
Shit, I'm strained and stressed. Good Lord. Call the ambulance. They got my babies. I can't get my babies back. What are you talking about, lady? What are you talking about? How the hell does that make sense?
Put in jail or federally prosecuted from the looks of things. And by the way, you also want damages for having to get alternative child care, right?
Yes, sir.
How?
Because I had to pay out of my pocket the money that I had been saving from working, from slaving, from braiding hair. It's a hard job.
Excuse me, under the guidelines, all you had to do was submit another claim and they would have taken care of paying for that alternative child care provision. So why would you suffer a loss of income because you couldn't get anybody to take care of your children with the state subsidy?
The child care provider that is a licensed child care provider is the one that charged me the $850.
And how do you afford, you say you paid it, how do you afford to pay your mama $800 for that period of time when there's some income guidelines?
Okay, so wait a minute. Then who took care of the kids then if it wasn't your mama? I don't understand, lady. Who is doing it?
By your testimony. How does that happen?
Excuse me, sir. Everything.
And look at her. She's doing the right thing. Just sitting there and shutting up, bruh. That's the perfect defense right there sometimes. You ain't got to say nothing. Just let the judge do the work for you.
It's documented. Everything that I do, I file taxes on it. I've been braiding since 1995.
How much did you claim on your taxes last year?
$14,000.
And you've already claimed that, oh, we're going someplace?
No, I'm having a hard time.
What is your complaint about this? You just out of the blue, they tell you your kids can't come here anymore. No, they don't tell you that. They tell the the child care entity that she can't bring these kids here.
Correct. After I was leaving numerous messages for her, calling her numerous times.
Well, when did you leave the children there?
I don't have the exact dates, but it was in September around the 20th.
How would you not have the exact dates?
And around the 22nd and 23rd, that's when she stopped answering my phone calls.
What?
Why do you think she did that?
To the door. Because I have a variable schedule and she wants children that are there that's a full-time or a set schedule. So I can call her if someone calls me and asks to get their hair braided and says, I need you right now. Then I will call my child care provider and ask her, can I bring my kids over right now? I was approved from 0 hours or 0 days a week to 7 days a week. So if I didn't have any clients, then I worked 0 days a week. If I had 7 clients 7 days a week, I would work 7 days. So
that makes sense.
With that schedule being variable and the hours being the hours that they were, that I braid up until 3:30 in the morning, maybe it wasn't comfortable for her. I don't know. That's what
that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense.
Who is expecting for somebody to leave a 3-year-old and a 12-year-old till 3 or 4
Did the cameraman just say, wow? Is that the cameraman? Wow. I can't believe this lady. Wow. But she has a right to be upset, though. If you say you're a 24-hour care provider, that makes sense for my job. If I'm up braiding until 3 a.m., that makes sense. Be like me, like, yo, I gotta work nights and I want to be off during the day. I drop my kids off at night, they just sleep there, and during the day I chill with my kids. That makes a lot of sense to me. There's a lot of other stuff that don't make sense, but that part makes sense.
In the morning.
A 24-hour day care provider. That was our agreement, Your Honor. Before I took her as a child care provider, I told her that.
Right.
As per my conversation with Ms. Sonia Harris of September 28th of year last, this letter is to confirm that the last day of payment by Child Action Inc. was 9/27/09 for the parent and children listed below.
Okay.
Correct. And do you see the part where
you have the right to ask families using your services to leave your facility or home
for any reason.
For any reason.
Well, it sounds like you should have read that before you came to court, because any reason would be literally any reason. I don't like your damn kids. How about that? You don't have to. It doesn't say anything about notice. So
she brought her kids, I think, 2 or 3 times. And at that point, I called Child Action, and I told them that I wasn't going to keep her kids anymore because she wasn't giving me notice. She would actually walk into my daycare with Mariah and sit there for 5 or 10 minutes and then say, I'm leaving.
The plaintiff says she sent her children to the defendant's daycare facility. She says the defendant didn't give her proper notice and just discontinued their contract. Let's take a look.
Now, you tell me your side of things. I want to hear your cross complaint.
Okay.
What's going on here, please?
Judge Brown, I'm countersuing Loran for $5,270.36. And this is for time that was unused in my child care from February of 09 to September of 09. We talked, and she stated that her schedule was a variable schedule, in which I did understand that at the time because we are 24 hours.
Right.
But I don't think she understood what 24-hour schedule is. I think that as a business owner, as a hair braider, you have to respect people's time.
Right.
And if she's going to have clients, she need to let her clients know that I have to be on a schedule. So it really didn't go like that. She wouldn't give me a 24-hour notice. She would call me on a whim and say, I'm bringing my kids in.
Sorry, I was confused. I thought she was saying that they were a 24-hour care facility that supports dropping off last minute. But that's not what she was saying. She just meant they're 24 hours, period. And this lady's like, we're 24 hours, but we need 24 hours notice also. That makes a lot of sense. So you can't just call me and drop off your kids then. That's literally a violation of what I asked you to do, lady.
I would actually take her children
into my
daycare. Now, there was not ever a time that she knocked on my door and I didn't answer my door. There was never a time. I'm not afraid of her. She doesn't have a gun, or, I mean, what am I intimidated by? Why would I not answer my door to either let her know, look, you didn't call me in enough advance, I took a walk in, so I won't be able to keep your children today. That's just the bottom line of it.
Right.
So she came to my care from February to May. June and July, she didn't even show up. I don't know what happened to her children during those 2 months. I called Child Action.
Now, you're saying she doesn't even show up for 2 months.
She doesn't even show up. She doesn't call me. There was times, in fact, let me just go push back a little bit.
I live right around the corner.
She wasn't bringing...
Well, you know, it says, hold on, payment will be processed within 10 working days of receipt of attendance form. That's what this is. It's a copy.
Thank you very much.
And there's a 2-month absence, in this time period where there are no such forms for claim of income. So that seems to corroborate her testimony.
Well, in September, she brought her kids, I think, 2 or 3 times. And at that point, I called Child Action, and I told them that I wasn't going to keep her kids anymore because she wasn't giving me notice. She would actually walk into my daycare with Mariah.
I'm assuming that's the kid, Mariah.
And then say, I'm leaving.
The business that I'm in, I have no control over when I'm going to braid or when I'm going to work, or if somebody gets off at 3:30 in the afternoon and needs their hair braided and it's going to take 12 hours and I'm done at 3:30. That's why I fought for the time at Child Action for me to get those hours approved, that I can start from the salon that I work through from 9:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the morning. I can take an appointment anytime throughout that day.
She doesn't even have a business license. I checked. She has no business license.
I work for Amici Salon, ma'am. They have a business license.
Did you do it at your home?
I do it all over the place.
Now, you've provided the documentation that you had numerous requests from others to provide child care services, but you had to turn them down because she had represented that she was coming by.
Right.
But
And I can't...
the agreement you have with them is until you terminate the relationship, you have to keep that slot open.
Right.
Right.
So it's like you got to get totally discommoded because she's got variable hours that are without any notice at all.
Yeah.
You know, I got to bring the kid down there and then don't show up.
Exactly.
Right.
So your complaint's denied. I'm granting your cross complaint $4,680 in your cost.
That was quick. That was so quick.
Well, the defendant provided daycare, but they didn't like the childlike behavior of the plaintiff. I'd say the judge agreed. Her case is denied.
Wow.
So the defendant's taking on the counterclaim.
Just like that, dude. So I guess at the end of the day, it sounded like welfare fraud. It sounded like welfare fraud, but he did not rule on that, which I don't think he can anyways. But he didn't say anything, you know, to Judge. He said a lot of things very Judge Joe Brownie about it. Okay, you know what I mean? Just saying what it sounds like to him, and that doesn't add up to him. But at the end of the day, he did rule in the defendant's favor. Man, that hurts, dude. That hurts. I mean, for her, I could see how she could be a little bit upset because, you know, it might seem unfair. You know what I mean? It might seem really unfair that she loses that spot. That she loses that spot like that. I can see why she could think that's like really unfair. Being that they are a 24-hour daycare center and all that stuff. But the second you sign that contract saying that you need to leave notice, saying that daycare needs to have a spot open for you, then you do leave yourself open in a really dangerous spot to be countersued like that, dude. That's a lot of cash. And her numbers do not add up. All right, man. I'll see y'all in the next one, ChavezzSlovakia. Let me know any Judge Joe Brown cases that you guys like, dude. I might check them out. Y'all take it easy. Peace. Damn, that was crazy.